Hi guys, welcome to Home Builder Happy Hour. It's just me today because we're going to be talking about Pinterest, and now that we've done the video that's like, hey, if you're a home builder, why should I do Pinterest? We want to take you through some very tactical ways on how to actually use Pinterest, especially for our home builder clients out there. So welcome to Home Builder Happy Hour. Okay, so we are going to dive right in. This is a really tactical presentation. So what we've done is really put together a PowerPoint for you, and we're going to walk you through with some slides. So in case you want to take notes, it's going to make it easier for you. The first thing we're going to talk about is ways to get started. And this is my first time with all the digi stuff, so bear with me, but hopefully it'll go pretty smoothly. So ways to get started. If you're total newbie to Pinterest, this will give you some tips of what to do. First, I want you to create a business account. So you're going to want to do this instead of creating a personal account. So there is a difference between the accounts on Pinterest, and you want to make sure to select business account. Next, you're going to want to update the description that is put in there for you to include your keywords. There's a description for you to add a link to your website. You're just going to kind of want to walk through all the steps that Pinterest offers you to set up your description and just optimize it out. Add as much information in there as you can. The third thing is to make sure your cover images on your profile are your pins. So this is, if you have been on Pinterest and you're on someone's account, you get to see their business name and their website, a little profile picture of them. But at the very top, which would be like Facebook's cover image, are several pins. And so you're going to want those pins to be your pins. So if you click in that area, you'll be able to select the pins or the types of pins that you want to show up there. You just want to make sure that right up there at the top, those are your pins and not, other pins that you've repinned. So make sure to take a look at that part. The fourth thing is that you're going to want to install the Save Pin button in your browser. I have an example of what that looks like. So if this is a website page right here, you can see on the upper left corner of that image is a red Save button. That is it's called the Save button, the Pinterest Save button. You can install that on your website or on your internet browser. So when you are on any site online, if you've installed it into your browser, you'll see that pin button on all the images. And so in case you see something you want to add to your Pinterest, you can just click that Save button and it will add it, and it'll give you a drop down of boards, and it makes it really, really easy to save pins from all over the web onto your Pinterest page that link right back to where you found that image. So the fifth thing that we want you to do is we want you to install rich pins. This takes a tiny bit more tech work, but it's totally worth it. So rich pins are key for giving your audience the information they are looking for and decreasing sales friction. What that means to you is that when you're on Pinterest, the way that you can visualize it, and I do have some examples for you, when you're on Pinterest and you see a pin and there's a website down at the bottom, you're going to just be able to click there and get right to where that pin. Here's some examples. Oh, no, this is right. Right? Graphic 2. Oh yeah, these are the different types of rich pins you could have. I'm sorry, got glitched up there for a second. So these are app pins. These pins show an install button so that people can download your app. So if you have a mobile app and you're pinning it on your Pinterest, which you totally should be doing, you can, if you have rich pins installed as part of your website experience and your Pinterest experience, then people will actually be able to just automatically click install and install your mobile app straight from Pinterest. Another type of rich pin are article pins. And so we sometimes use this on our clients' websites. So if you're writing blogs, this would be a really great use of a rich pin, so that when we pin the blog from your website onto Pinterest, it just links right automatically, links right back to your website. And no matter how many people share that pin, and a lot of times article pins go far and wide, people can always get right back to your website to read the full article or blog or whatever it is that you're pinning. The third type of rich pin is a product pin. So if you're selling something, like we've got a shop for one of our products where we're actually selling, things like hats and mugs, we would use a product pin. So this would allow the person who's on Pinterest to see the price of your product, and it would go straight to the site to purchase your product. So these are really useful if you have that type of product to sell. And finally, I went too far. Are recipe pins. So this would be the fourth type of rich pin that Pinterest allows you to have. So if you have a site that has recipes, I'm sure you've seen these. I use these all the time on Pinterest. You can pin it from your site, and then the Make It button shows up, and it brings all of the ingredients and how to make the recipe. It makes cooking really easy straight from Pinterest. So those are rich pins. The last thing I just want to say about that is that you are going to probably need to talk to your IT person about adding rich pins to your website. But if you just go on Pinterest and go to their rich pins page, or Google rich pins on Pinterest, the very easy, short description of how to do it will show up. And then you just send that to your IT person, and you should be good to go. So the second part of I want to take you into, now that we've done ways to get started, I want to take you and talk to you about how to set up your pins and boards. And so the first thing is that you have to create pins, obviously. Now that could be a whole nother, YouTube video here on how to create a pin. But you do need to add pins to your page and categorize them through boards. So here is kind of what that looks like when you're adding a pin. It'll be like add pin, you'll click it, and this is what that screen's gonna look like. So you'll be able to just drag a picture. So if you have your own custom photography, or if you have some videos, you can just upload those straight to Pinterest, and then where it says tell everybody what your pin is about, you add in a description, and then you'll add your link. And then you can decide to publish it immediately and click publish, or you can publish it at a later date, and you'll have the option to select the date and time you want to publish that. And of course, add your title at the top. And where it says select in the upper right, that'll drop down with which board you want that to go to, or you can add a new board. So that is creating pins. The second thing when it comes to setting up your pins and boards is that you're going to want to create different types of boards that show your brand voice. And several different types that you could have are going to be, just as an example, we've got seasonal pins. You can do your product. So if you're a home builder, definitely you're going to want to have boards for each of your neighborhoods, which you can break down into even more boards and further categories like bathrooms and living rooms and kitchens. And gosh, you could do types of tile and types of sinks and types of accessories, and there's so many different things you can do with your same images, and that's definitely a strategy that you're going to want to implement. So product, that's huge, especially for our industry. Inspirational. These are great sets of boards because people love inspiration on Pinterest, and it's the type of thing that they would share that would hopefully come back to you. But it's also a really great thing you can share from other people's Pinterest accounts. Behind the scenes, so if we've got photos of the home building process or the development process, behind the scenes is a great thing, especially in video, that you could put up on Pinterest. Solutions to issues. So this could be really educational, like how to buy a home, how to save money to buy a home, how to stay organized. So you can do really fun pins that, I should just go live while I'm talking a little bit. I'm just going to come back on the screen for a minute as I'm going through these different types of boards that you could have. But the solutions to issues, so this would be a great for creating like an infographic and maybe giving people 5 or 10 ideas of what they could do to save money to buy their first home. Like that would be a very shareable pin. And something that would fit perfect into like that solutions to issues idea. And then location pins. So this really works well for neighborhoods if you're building in Costa Mesa, let's say, and you have a little set of homes and you kind of know who's the type of person buying that home. You might want to do some location boards that will showcase what people can do in that area. So you can be pinning from restaurants and the local library and different food and different, in Costa Mesa, South Coast Plaza and all the shopping that's around that area. The beach, like Costa Mesa is so good because you just have everything around Costa Mesa. You could have a very rich location board for Costa Mesa. And that's the type of stuff that people really are going to share on Pinterest. And it's easy for you to pick up that information on Pinterest from other pages. And you definitely want to do that because it helps with the Pinterest algorithm that you're sharing content plus you're posting your own content. So those are some ideas. Do I have any more? No. The types of boards that you could be putting together on your Pinterest page. So the next section I've got for you is using Tailwind. So I'm not going to go into a lot of depth about using Tailwind because again, that could be a whole nother episode in itself. And really, it's something that we do for our clients and we would love to be doing for you. But Tailwind is amazing. And I do have a graphic that I want to show you that is a picture of kind of what Tailwind looks like. So you can see this is our Tailwind for Get Community, and it's showing you how many drafts we have up in that upper left-hand corner. We have scheduled 40 pins already, and then you can see over on the right-hand side our schedule. So for today, it's showing you we've got these 2 pins, and for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so we've got a couple pins going out every day of the week, and we always have new pins that are going out. A lot of it is our own content that we're creating that we hope is shareable and interesting to people on Pinterest who are in marketing, especially for social media. But, not the intro. Learning. But Tailwind is an amazing product. There's a lot that you can do with it, including they've got these tribes. So you can find like-minded people like in a certain industry, or they're interested in a certain product, and everyone's trying to grow their audience. So they will share your content for you, and you will share their content for them. So that's kind of how that works. But it enables you to sit down for a couple of hours and plan content out for a month very quickly. And you're going to want to take your content, because you need a really strong strategy for Pinterest so that you continually have pins going out. I mean, you want to optimize here. So getting to 7, 10, 15 pins a day, this is a good strategy. And so the only way to do this without just designing and doing all kinds of content creation is using a product like Tailwind, where you can add to different boards over a very long period of time. So that's kind of the Tailwind strategy. If you're out there doing this on your own, I highly suggest you invest in Tailwind and use it to curate your Pinterest pins. Okay, so next we are going to go into the advertising. So this is our last section for you, and we do have there's lots of different things you can do on Pinterest when it comes to advertising. And I'm going to go back to my live view. But I want to start with, as far as, like why you should use Pinterest, by giving you and reminding you of a few like facts and stats about Pinterest advertising. But I think this is helpful to just kind of go back here. So Pinterest is almost 4 times more effective at generating sales than other digital campaigns. Now, I know it's not going to sell a home on Pinterest, although it very well might. I mean, because it's a very visual experience. But if you're selling any other type of product that you can actually buy online, you should probably be doing your product pins and really investing in that rich pin strategy so people can just go straight to purchasing your product. It's just, as I said, it's 4 times more likely to sell a product here than in other digital media platforms. 83% of weekly pinners have made a purchase based on pins they saw from a brand. So 83% of weekly pinners. That's a very high number. 61% of people who said that they were aware of Pinterest ads said they discovered new brands and products on Pinterest. And I know this to be true for myself because I love Pinterest. And when I'm looking for something, I go on there and I discover all kinds of things from different brands. I would say it's very brand friendly on Pinterest because you're not following your friends necessarily. You're following categories because it's a search engine of things you're interested in. So you are interested in finding things from brands. And so you're very open to learning more about those pins. It just has to spark your, interest when you see it visually. And then creating promoted pins, when you're doing that, make sure that your content gets in front of people that are more likely to be interested in your content. So essentially, when you're advertising on Pinterest, you're able to target people and their interests in a way that will get your content and what you're pinning in front of those people who are looking for that content. Because like I said, it is a search engine. So you're kind of meshing up your product with what people are looking for. That's where the opportunity lies on the advertising side. And then when creating, here I'm going to go back to my slides. So when we're creating promoted pins, you can choose from 3 marketing goals. And we're going to I'm just going to go through what those are. But the first one is building awareness. So when you go and you create a pin ad, and this is something you're obviously going to have to dive into. Maybe one day we'll have our ads person come on and really kind of talk through Pinterest advertising. But there's 3 ways you can advertise. One is building awareness. So with this type of ad, your goal is to have people discover your business. You're building awareness. This is who I am. This is what I do. The second type of ad that you might select is to drive consideration. So with driving consideration, your goal is to get more traffic, leads, or installs. So that means either more traffic to your website, getting people to click that button, getting people to sign up on your interest list or your registration list, your email list, whatever you're trying to build. And then installs, which is installing your mobile app. And so this drive consideration is a type of ad that you would run if you're trying to get more people to actually take action from your pin. And then the third type that you might choose is sales growth. So with this, your goal is obviously to generate more sales. So this would be where you might have a product and you would really be pushing your product pins and you would use the sales growth tool. So when you create your promoted pin campaigns, you get to target your ideal audience, and that's how you get the most bang for your buck. So the targeting, I would say, let me go back to me. Hello. The targeting, I would say, is not as in depth as the potential that you would have on Facebook or Instagram to really hone in on interests, which actually in our industry kind of just got swiped away from us anyway. We should do this just in type of post. Sorry about that. But where was I going with that? My phone rings. I lose my train of thought. Tell me, Ryan. Ryan's like, this just in. Ugh, I don't know. Anyway, we were talking about creating promoted pins and who your ideal. Oh, because Facebook just had a big change for home builders. That's what I was getting at. And so our targeting got greatly reduced. But there's really great geo and behavioral targeting on Pinterest as well. And then you want to make sure you're getting the highest ROI that you can be achieving. And that's by looking at the analytics of your pins. So you really need to check in on that and see, what people are doing with your ads. So that's always with any social media, you should always be looking at your analytics. And that wraps it up. I'm not going to keep you here with us anymore, but thank you so much. I say us because Ryan's just sitting right there watching me. So anyway, thank you for joining. We just so appreciate that you're here and watching our Home Builder Happy Hours and helping us grow. And I hope you're learning from us. And stay tuned for next week. Bye, guys. Hey, guys. It's Kelly here.
And Ryan.
Hey, I really want you to do me a huge favor and please subscribe to our channel. I'm sure there's like a subscribe button around here. I want you to push it and then you're subscribed. And then the second thing for you to do is to ring the little bell. It's like a bell. Ring it. You click it and it shakes. And that means you're going to get notifications every time we have a new video. And then I have one more job for you, and that is to grab this, your cell phone, and I want you to send us a text and just get on our text list. Text HBHH to the number 797979, and we'll send you a sweet little text with a link to our newest videos. Thanks.